his mirror. He's playing with the bottom here. Stay with the bottom. Big wreck in your mirror. Big wreck in your mirror. Oh no! Oh my God! That looks awful.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TARNATION TV. Thanks for watching, live or in the replay. Always appreciate it. Very cool that people like what we do, and here we are again, Saturday night. It's the premier Superspeedway series here at the All-Star Racing League. This is race number 2. It's been a few weeks since race number 1 because we had some events and some other stuff happening, but Season 2 resumes tonight with race number 2 of 10. So again, thank you for watching. My name is Blaine, joined by Sir Rod Weston himself.
Yeah, and then been a couple weeks, like you said. Nate Balzer kind of went out there and won the first race, got himself in the points lead. He's followed by Greg Lovell, and Billy Elliser's up there in the third spot. Fourth is Doug Hillick and Denny Carroll in fifth. And they're, Denny Carroll's only 9 points behind. So, but it's still early, 10-race season. We saw last season the same kind of thing. It was kind of the first race, second race, there was a lot of shakeups on the points at the beginning. And then, got near the halfway point, and as they say, the cream kind of always, rose to the top. And we started seeing a few other drivers that were normally fixed in that kind of situation. Although we do have some other drivers here this season that we did not have full season last time. So there'll be a few different new guys up front, but a great series. Love broadcasting for these guys, and looking forward to doing the broadcast tonight.
Yeah, new faces are always cool, and we've actually had guys out here in practice that actually haven't come to race, which is maybe one day we'll actually get to see them on the track. Like one guy there, Sean Turner, is out there tonight, just practicing, I do believe, from what I understand from trackside reports, that he just came out to kind of practice, run some laps, get a feel for it, and maybe next week he'll race, maybe the week after. But was there more to that story?
Yeah, I went down and I had a chat with him about it. New guy, so we kind of introduced ourselves a little bit, talked to him, and didn't have his car. So it was kind of one of those, I usually go up to the guys and find out, are we resetting because, like Chuck McClure was in the wrong car tonight and whatnot. And he basically just popped in, not new to racing, just he has been here at ASR in the past, decided to, kind of take the dust off the wheel, give it a little, rub down, get out here and do some racing again. But that being said, he doesn't want to go out until he's ready to. So he asked the guys to come in, turn a few laps, get the feel of it, get back into it. And then I think if he's comfortable with tonight, he was talking about possibly he will be behind the wheel next week.
Yeah, and it's a great way to come out and practice with a full crew, because you can come out here in a practice session, which is usually 60 to 90 minutes in length, and that's a long time. Like a race will take that long. So you can get out here and practice bump drafting, practice, coming out of turn 3 and 4 from, the wall, 195 mile an hour, dropping her down to 55 for pit road speed, and, practice all these things. Hitting your marks, doing all that, getting into pack racing, doing some 3 wide stuff. Because, doing that and I don't know, like if he was here at ASR and racing in a different series, it's a little bit easier to deal with, a 1.5 mile long track, like those, even like a Michigan, like a 2 mile track kind of scenario like that. Talladega is a different animal. So, That's a good heads up play by him, I guess is what I'm trying to say, where you come out here and start, trading some paint, but just doing it in practice and stepping aside for the ways. And then maybe watch the broadcast and see how it all plays out too.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it too, for, some people, they're, excellent super speedway racers, and you know what? We're going to get ready tonight to watch a few of those. Myself, I'm self-proclaimed. I am not a great super speedway racer. I've learned a lot from, just these leagues that just run the Talladega track. I've been out there, been racing with them a little bit. Got a lot of help, and there's a lot of things that guys do that, just settings and different stuff that, help improve your super speedway experience. But the other thing too is getting used to, jump bump drafting, get back out there doing that. It is an art form. Some of these guys are absolutely amazing at it. Me, not so much.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun to run with them too. Like, I've run out there on. Oh, this practice is looking pretty thick. They're going 4 wide down the back straight right now. This is just practice, ladies and gentlemen. So don't worry about these cars that are flipping into the parking lot right now. But getting out here and racing at Talladega is a lot of fun. You don't expect to win, especially because some of these guys like who are locked on right now, like Chuck McClure, Robert Spring, Dennis McCarthy. Names we say all the time. Not even this league. They'll follow this track into other leagues. These guys just love Talladega.
Yeah, and then I don't, like I said, I don't get it. But there again, hey, you set up a Martinsville league, I'd be there every week. But, it's just, I've always been a short track guy, but that's what it is. These guys, they just love running this track. You're going to see some incredible stuff if this is your first time being here. And when we get the race going and you see them 3 wide, sometimes even 4, don't adjust your screen. They'll be like that almost all night long. It's funny how they do it. They kind of get out there for a little bit, then all of a sudden it kind of settles down, and then you start to get to the end of it, and they start getting 3 wide again. But they'll sit there sometimes and race 3 wide all night long.
Yeah, very, very tough too. I can speak from experience. Like, you and I both have owned this thing ever since it came out, and that's in 2003. Like, we're talking 23 plus years this thing's been around, and when you get out here online in a series like this, we've got 27 people connected to the server right now. So we're going to have a minimum of, probably 20 or 25 drivers out here. That's a lot of traffic. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. You're gripping that wheel. It's fatiguing. It's a video game simulator. It's a NASCAR simulator on your computer, and it's stressful. It's a workout. It takes a lot of concentration, especially at Talladega.
I've always said it, the perfect example of Talladega to me is trying to play a game of high-speed chess. So you're playing chess at 200 miles an hour against 20 people all at the same time. You are more mentally drained after one of these races than you would be physically drained. And that's just because you're constantly thinking. We talked to a lot of these guys, and there again, and I'm telling you, these guys are some of the best out there that does this stuff. They actually, it's nothing for them, but they're just you're so busy, you're so focused on looking left, looking right, which way is I going to go. You get out front, you spend 80% of your time looking in your rearview mirror. There's a lot of focus in this.
Now, we just got word from Brian Wolf. They're doing the server reset, so there it is. Checking out the next week's schedule. Kind of an interesting one. We're here at Talladega right now. Tuesday, we will resume at Maverick Cup Series, the High Voltage Racing League, the Maverick Cup Series on Tuesdays. Live at 8:15 with Maverick at Talladega Superspeedway. So that is part of their schedule. And then May 5th with Cinco de Mayo. Of course, they go to Mexico City, the Tuesday that follows that one.
The track that you're looking forward to, right?
Yeah, it's cool. I've never seen it before, so it's gonna be neat. And then, of course,
on Formula One, but I know I raced it, the Mexico track years ago online, but I don't think it's the exact same as the current one they're going to be running. It's the same track, cool. Same place, but I think they've changed stuff around a little.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool. That should be a lot of fun. I like to see, like a cool new track like that. Like, you play this game for so long, you think you've raced on everything, but there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tracks. Like it's probably up near thousands. And
You want to try a track that'll definitely throw you for a loop. There is a track out there called AOD Dragway.
okay.
If you've ever seen it. So the start to finish line is literally a drag strip. And when you get to the end of the drag strip, there's a corner that turns to the left. There are three different angles. I'm not saying it's progressive banking. You have an angle, then you have a straight up angle in the middle of the corner, and then a flatter angle on the top. Once you learn that you run in that middle, you do real well. You turn, you go down over a hill. You have to slow down, I think it's to 60 miles an hour, or you get so far airborne that you cannot control the car. And when you hit the ground, you come to the next corner, which is basically Martinsville without any retaining wall on the outside of it.
This is a track.
And you go off into pit road. Oh, it's crazy.
That sounds like madness.
It is. It is madness. It is absolute madness. But it actually is kind of fun to race.
Oh wow, yeah, it would be. I mean, the fantasy tracks are very cool out here. A lot of these guys recreate the real ones. Like we've got a Chicago street course. When NASCAR went to that Chicago street course, first time ever, it was ready to go in the game pretty much on the same weekend that they were racing on it on TV. It was crazy. There was a team working on the track.
Yeah.
And then as they got closer to race week, they could, watch the footage and kind of finalize all the little things. And they were able to put that track out pretty close to when the race happened. And you're like, man, like the mod teams are just so dedicated to this in literally everything. And then, of course, the fantasy tracks are insane. I mean, Papyrus started it because they had that 8-bowl figure 8 thing. So, oh, wow, yeah, I guess we can do that. So the guys should start doing some crazy stuff, inverted banking on some of the tracks. They got like Bristol inverted banking. So you're still turning to the left, but the banking's the opposite way with no walls. Like it's crazy.
Or banked Indy or, people have called it 8-bowl, which was a figure 8 with a bridge. So you didn't contact. Somebody has taken that track and actually made it where you meet in the middle. Right.
Made it flat and didn't need a bridge. Now you're getting into T-bone situations.
Let me tell you, you get out there long enough, you start looking at you keep your F2, and that is the relative. So that means that'll tell you how far away somebody is ahead and behind you at live. And you get to learn, and I believe it was like 36 seconds. You're gonna meet somebody. And you stop thinking about it and you're just racing, and all of a sudden you drive through that and you get T-boned. You're doing 180 miles an hour and you get T-boned, and it will just scare the bejesus out of you because like I said, if you're focused on it, you'll see it and you'll try to go a little faster, maybe a little slower so you don't hit it. But when you get just focused and you're not, and all of a sudden you get hit, oh boy, it really wakes you up real quick.
See, and as a NASCAR fan, especially 8-bowl, it's so hard to steer to the right. Yeah. Because, the car is set up where you drive a car on the left side and you're steering to the left, and it's just in your brain, and this is how it happens. Now you're doing an oval. Like, the road course is different, but that's an oval. An oval that goes the opposite direction is really weird. And then in 8-bowl, that's how it happens because it's a figure 8. You're doing half the track normal, half the track inverted, like backwards.
Basically set it up for the right-hand turn, and the left-hand turn will just work. So we are going to be doing something a little different tonight. A little request from the guys at ASR. We're going to try our best to see how we can do it. We'll probably have a few more drivers interviews.
You want to do one now?
Oh well, who would you like to speak to?
Let me see.
How much more? We got 4 minutes of practice.
Is Greg out there? No. We'll get somebody who's on the track here. You want to grab Doug Hewlick?
Sure, we can do that. Find him.
See if we can find Doug Hewlick and see what he's thinking about going here into qualifying. I believe are we qualifying tonight? No, we're not. It's Lotto.
No, tonight. Tonight is qualifying. Last week was the Lotto.
Right, they alternate. Yeah.
Doug Hewlick, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. Do you have a copy? Now he's pulling off the track. See, we were going to try talking to him while he was on the track.
Doug, you there, buddy?
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Doing really, really good. You would be the first guy we're going to just kind of, interview for a little bit. They got us kind of wanting to interview you guys a lot more often. So you drew the short straw, I guess was the way to put it.
Yeah, congratulations.
Lucky me. Wow. So I can get some winning lottery tickets out of this too?
Definitely.
I've got to ask, we're just going to, the first question, what do you use for a wheel, Doug?
Oh, it's a Logitech something or other. One of them Microsoft Xbox wheels.
Oh, really?
G-Force, I guess. I don't know. It's round. It's got paddles on it.
See, this is why I wanted to interview Doug, because we're
and some force feedback-ish feeling kind of stuff, like, right?
I don't really drive with the force feedback on. I turn it off, and it seems like the wheel's stiffer, and I prefer that rather than have it, be really loose, and then when something goes wrong, it kind of jams you. So I'm not a force feedback kind of guy.
Wow, I've tried playing this thing without force feedback, and it's like almost impossible because I have for so long. I can't do it. I have to have it.
Mine has no force feedback. It's just springs.
Yeah, it's centering spring. See, when you use force feedback, it doesn't center spring back. So then I was always lost. Well, it's like, okay.
That makes sense.
I don't know. When you're used to something, you go the other way, and it's like, ugh.
That's the thing. I could never go without it because I've just used it forever. Where you're the opposite. You've never used it, so why bother? It's the same excuse, really.
I've tried it different tracks, especially short tracks where it's like you're constantly muscling it to go around a corner, and it's just like like Bristol or something. It's like you're constantly, and so I would turn it off then just so it'd be easier. But I still suck at Bristol, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, come on. Bristol's fun. Short tracks.
No.
No.
I've been told I'm not good at short tracks, mile and a half. Anything other than that, I'm good at. But short tracks, just not my specialty.
See, that's my bread and butter. But you go into tonight currently fourth in points, 8 points out. You think you got a chance at getting this, or you got just 3 guys in front of you right now to get past for the evening and get yourself in the points lead?
Anything can possibly happen. But you know what? This is race 2 out of what, 12?
It's 10.
10. Okay. I'm gonna probably miss a couple of races, so I'm just out here trying to have fun, make the best finish, not cause any issues. And if I do cause issues, that's just chaos.
Yeah, kill some bugs,
Splat.
That's a little nod to his sponsor, Black Flag.
Yeah, awesome looking car. Yeah, you haven't changed that thing in a while. There's no point to drive a different car. That thing looks awesome.
No, when Rodney put this thing together, it was a beautiful paint job, and I'm just gonna keep running until the bugs wash off.
Nice. Well, it looks like we're coming to the end of practice. You think we should let him go? Or
yeah,
hold
sure.
him hostage?
Well, good luck in qualifying, buddy, and hopefully we'll get the chance to interview you later in the top 3.
I would look forward to that. That would be a good evening if I end up getting to talk to you guys at the beginning of the night and the end of the night.
Very good. All right. Well, good luck, buddy.
Take care, guys. Nice talking with you.
See, that worked.
Yeah. It was funny, though.
Nothing new.
We were watching him drive around, and then he got off the track. So
yeah. Well,
It was probably break
some
time.
of the guys don't want to talk when they're driving,
Yeah, that's why I figured to grab somebody in the pre-race here too, but then again we were getting close. We might have interrupted its break time, but either way, yeah. So
yeah,
we got a cool event here. Looking at the future broadcasts coming up on Wednesday next week. So we got Maverick at Talladega on Tuesday, and then you can see there on the Wednesday, the day after, the 29th of April. TMP Racing League got a hold of us here last week. The Late Model Project version 2 at Memphis. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Those cars look great. I don't believe I've driven that mod a bunch, but I've actually never broadcasted it. So that'll be a Tarnation TV first, I do believe. I'm familiar with the mod because I used to love driving that mod. Those cars look very cool.
TMP has always done a three mod kind of series. Last year, we did their championship. It was 4 different mods. The way they used to do it was, they would like start the first race of the season was a late model. Second was what would they do? The Cup Series, and then the third week would be Indy, and and so on and so on. So this one's going to be strictly just a late model series, and we will have some. We'd be glad to come over there and do a broadcast for them.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. And it's Memphis, and I think it's a heat style race too. There's we start at 9 o'clock there. The first green flag takes off around 9:10, 9:15. And there's a couple of heats before they do a main race. The track at Memphis must be a short one, eh?
Yes.
Is it like less than half mile?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, because they're doing a 100-lap main event.
Yeah.
But I know if that's less than a half mile, it's going to be like 12 to 16-second lap times. So that's going to fly by. Like, oh man, 100 laps, it's going to take forever. And then 15 minutes in, we've already done 30 laps. So.
It's be interesting because, like I said, they're really using practice towards doing heats and stuff, and it's got an interesting concept. And there's one thing about TMP for sure: they don't do things normal, not in a bad way, But like last season, it was you couldn't change tires under yellow flag conditions, so made for some interesting strategy and. Just like we see at Open Speedway, you can't you can't hug the low line throughout the night, and which made for some very interesting strategy. So keep changing it up a little bit, making people see some things that they've never seen.
Yeah, and it's neat to get into different mods too. Like I'm looking forward to Roberson getting that Moboil 10 series working again, because the DMR 12 mod, just different mods. I mean, again, the one we're running tonight, the Monster Energy Cup NASCAR 19, the 2019 mod. This is an amazing mod for this track.
Yeah,
that's why it is a favorite. This and the trucks, always. It's a no-brainer when you're coming to Talladega. You have to. You're almost required to use those mods because they're just so good at the bump drafting. The close quarters, the hitbox is a 3-wide racing. Correct. Gotta have it.
The hitbox is pretty darn close, and that's kind of a really an important thing, especially with bump drafting. We see this every week. The guys that are up front that are really, really doing the good pushing and whatnot. You get down there with the old drone going down the backstretch, and you can see they're literally, just touching them, and you look at it, and it's just right. They're not, 6 or 8 inches away from them, or halfway through their car. The hitbox is really good.
Yeah, and when you rely on the style of racing at Talladega is all bump drafting, you really need to know and trust where your car is. We've seen it happen at Rolling Thunder, where after every season they have a vote. All the members, all the racers can come in and they have a vote. You just use your mute button on TeamSpeak to vote. Nobody's talking or nothing. They just, if you vote yes, key up your mute key, and then they just count the buttons.
That's cool.
And they vote on everything, like lotto qualifying, what mod are we using, like all that stuff. So the mod it changes sometimes, but it always ends up coming back to one of the truck mods, either the 09 truck mod or the 2015 truck mod or the 2019 Monster Energy cars, because it's just the whole season we just did, season 67 over at Rolling Thunder, is probably one of the best overall seasons that we've ever, like that Seth said that he's ever done there. And he's done 30 seasons for them. And he's like, almost every week was a knockout qualifying, means they had way too many people show up. So they had to do a couple of qualifying sessions to lock in that main field. And we're just going through these races. 1, 2, maybe 3 cautions. Flawless racing. And it's got a lot to do with them using the Monster Energy 19 mod, because it's that good.
So they just finished up qualifying on the pole tonight. Remember, tonight is a qualifying night. Next week will be a random. Is Robert Breedlove. Then on the outside, it's going to be Greg Lovell. Then third, Kelly Kazi. Then fourth, Rodney Sellens, the great painter. Fifth, Greg Palmer's in the house tonight. We don't see him running. We see him a bit, but not always all the time. Glad to see him. He's in the house tonight. And the head admin for the evening, sixth is Ken Roberts. Seventh is Randy Waugh. Eighth, Mark Paglia. Ninth, is Mike Mangialardi. 10th is Denny Carroll, and I will let you go to 20.
Terry Bombard in 11th. Chuck McClure in 12th. Doug Hulick in 13th. David Little in 14th. Stephen Brandstetter in 15th. 16th place, Craig Hagley. Garland Oaks in 17th. Bobby Farrell in 18th. Robert Spring comes in 19th. And the 024 car of Dennis McCarthy sitting in 20th.
21st tonight, Mike Brush. He said he's got a hot rod tonight in the chat, so we'll have to see what happens. Look at that. You beat me again in qualifying. It's Blaine and myself. That's a good thing. We're side by side, so we're not going to affect too much for that thing. And 24th tonight, that's going to be the 7-Eleven of John Godfrey. And then we got Cody Lamas, Javier Negron. I love this car, the old kind of the Dale Jr. Daytona car. And then we have Billy Elliser currently sitting in third place in points. Brian Wolf, and rounding out the field tonight, David Chin. So we're hoping for a good night for David Chin. And last season, he had one race that he finished and got more DNS. And so hopefully tonight he has a great night.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate season for David.
Yeah, he did not have a very good season.
Yeah, and you know what? Race number 1, as you can see from the stats on screen there, he did DNF as well. So hopefully he can find a pocket. You know, this is the stats you're looking at. We've only had one race, so that's pretty much the exact way that they finished on. Oh, when did that happen? Yeah, a couple weeks ago, because we had the ALS race last weekend. So yeah, Nate Balser, Greg Lover, Billy Elliser got third, so that was your podium pretty much. But yeah, that full house, 33 drivers. We've got 31 people connected to the server right now. So yeah, not too shabby, man. Coming over on a Saturday. Yeah.
But we, last season we saw, Greg Palmer won the first race, had the points lead there for a little bit, whatever. And it just like I said earlier, it's weird because, the first kind of 4 races, you see Nate Balzer on the top right now, and, he could have a bad night. Next thing you know, he's down in 10th. And, whoever was in 10th is up near the front. But as we get to the middle of it, it kind of starts to almost form to, who's been having the better luck. And I'm not going to say who's the better driver. They always do. I do kind of put the cream rises to the top, but it's usually who has the better luck. They get to the end of that, and we start seeing the players kind of show up.
And that's the thing. Like when you look at that list right there, you've got Kelly Causey, Rodney Sellens, Negron, Paglia, Tu, McClure, like all these guys at the bottom. Those guys don't finish last, but they're at the bottom. They had the race happened, and that's what happened. But it's a long season for a reason. So
the racing gods were not with them. So I can see now that they're just finishing up on the drivers' meeting. So let's see if we can grab Brian Wolf, get him down here, and he can tell us a little bit more about tonight's event.
Rock and roll. Brian Wolf, race director.
Director Brian Wolf. Yeah, Brian, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I do have a copy. You guys, I don't know how you get that timing down, but that was perfect.
I'm good, man. Hey,
that's what you pay us for, the big bucks.
Told you my secret.
This is going to be fun, man. As always, I just want to get down here and thank our sponsors and everybody involved. Dave Chin, along with Bryant Motorsports and the new parts barn thing I think we have to show tonight. That's a part of Bryant Motorsports, along with the other commercial with the girls. That aspect has been really fun, and we're so grateful to them. As far as tonight, let's see, race 2. Hopefully this is going to be kind of eventful tonight. I know there's a lot of guys chomping at the bit with this being Talladega weekend for real in NASCAR. Everybody's waiting for that race. It was a great one today, and tomorrow should be even better. But man, I'm excited. This is going to be fun. I finally get a chance to kind of take a breath and from all these, specialty events we've been dealing with over the last few weeks. Cannon's race was a success, and I'd be crazy if I didn't mention Kelly Causey and his the ALS association. That race we put on last week was just so much fun, and they raised, I think, close to $8,000 or something towards that.
Yeah.
So this is not your everyday video game. You know what I mean? This is the real deal, man. We're not kidding around. This is serious fun.
Serious fun. I like that.
Yeah, and so we're just looking for some maybe a little bit more driver interaction with you guys in the YouTube chat box and and stuff like that. And we're going to try to get even closer. And man, this thing's really gaining some traction. We're close to 30 drivers again tonight, which is right where we like to be. It's for us, it's quality over quantity. We don't consider 40 car fields that wreck every 10 laps successful, but thanks to you guys, and our sponsors and everybody involved, it's successful. We are off and running, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and better and better.
Yeah, we pulled Doug Hillick up earlier already to talk with him, so he was that was an entertaining interview.
Yeah, always is with Doug.
He's a nut, but we had fun with him and whatnot. So we're going to try to keep that going tonight to see what we can do. Figure it out.
Ken Roberts really put it best earlier when we were, because we want to try some new. We want you guys to experiment with your broadcast and the stuff that you bring to it. Blaine, I know you love that idea, and I think Ken Roberts put it best when he said, this series, this 10-week series, it kind of tells a story, and each week is a different chapter, and these guys are kind of writing in their own fate sometimes. So it's going to be good, man. We want to try to, without. We know we're kind of flirting with disaster, maybe putting wrecked out guys on the air, but we're going to try and see where it goes.
That can be entertaining, to say the
right?
least.
Yeah. We want to try to bring, without trying to use the word drama. You know what I mean? We just want to try to create some storylines for, or maybe even some talking points, I should say, maybe for the following weeks to come.
So I think what he's saying is next week we'll be airing this race on TARNATION TV TURBO. Yeah.
It's always an option. The channel's there if you want it.
Yeah, and just to add to that, these guys have been briefed in the drivers' meeting on just basically about things not what to say, but what not to say. You know what I mean? That's probably a good way to put it. It should be fun. And you guys have been, like I said before, you guys have been around these drivers, most of these drivers, long enough to know, who's a good interview and who you might want to wait until the following week when they cool off or something. But we have to wait and see what happens first.
That's why we grabbed Hillick. It's going to be a great interview.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight and the weeks to come. How are you guys doing?
Just not bad, man. It's gonna be good. We've been off for a couple weeks here, so it's cool to get back at it.
I just spent the day. We went to our local track where we race. We got the Outlaws out. I got a 13-year-old kid, Cole Colburn, who's driving my second kart this year, and he is not a rookie. He's won a championship there in the lower divisions, and he was looking for something different, and we put him in the kart, and very impressed. He had a really good run today. My kart was good. So tomorrow, we're all loaded up for tomorrow, and we go over there and go racing.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Always cool to hear stories from the real racing world. But I sometimes consider this to be the real racing world.
It is.
This is an actual thing.
Most of the times the races are better.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
and less expensive.
Yes.
It's always fun to get up here with you guys too and interact with you guys and get to talk about how everybody else does it wrong. So
perfect example for anybody that's watching the interview or the live feed there, or the broadcast. You're watching a demolition derby happen on down by the so that's okay.
And we're green flag racing right now.
Great thing about this game is they just hit escape, hit drive, and they got a brand new car and they're ready to go.
Yeah. Hold shift and push R.
In real life, you spend all week hopefully getting it ready for the weekend.
Yeah, I'm just looking at our lead admin there in the 55 acting a fool on the pit road there.
Oh.
So tonight's going to be fun, guys. I got about 10 seconds to get down in there, and they're calling me down, so I got to get going.
All right. Well, good luck,
Brian.
Yeah, thank you guys for being with us. As always, Saturday nights, All-Star Racing is the place to be.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
That's it.
It's my home, so.
I got a question for you, Rod.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking the electric lemonade, so,
Yeah, I got some cider the wife bought. It's like candy. Blackberry Summersby. Definitely tastes
Sounds
like
good.
juice.
Drivers.
It's only 4.5%, so we'll be all right. I'm used to Canadian beer.
Well, that's right, too. You don't have to get up in the morning, so you're...
No, it's a day off tomorrow.
Yeah. Wished it was a day out. Well, I can't say I wished it was. I'm happy. We had a great, like I said, had a great day today, and Cole's a good fit for us, and so looking forward to getting him out there. Going to have some new fresher tires on there for him tomorrow, and we're going to go out and we're going to race hard for it, and then hopefully I can whoop up on him. But if I don't, I'm still going to be happy because he's going to be a good addition to road and racing. So
Yeah, that's exciting. With some new guys in there and a young kid who's that good.
Like I said, he's won a championship before. I mean, he's raced there. They tried something different last year. They went to what they call a champ kart, and he struggled with it a little bit, and they just wanted to try to do something different. You're supposed to be 15 years old to be able to ride in our division, but they reached out. The people that run the league reached out to me and said, hey, do you mind if Cole races? And I said, absolutely not. It's perfect. So, and he's going to be a great fit. So,
Yeah, that's fun. And you own the team?
I own two carts. I race one and rent the second one. So
Nice. That's a good idea. Rent the second one out.
basically, it pays for my racing. I'm not making millions on it. I'm not trying to make millions, but it allows me to go racing. And not really, digging into my pockets so deep that, I'm stressing or, whatnot. I just go. It's, we go race, we have fun. That's the big key thing is have fun and have a good time.
It's the same thing with this. Like, I never thought we'd be making money broadcasting this thing. And all I did was I left the account that the leagues will hire us to do this.
Yeah.
And I just left that account alone. I don't even look at it. And then it got to the point where I could buy a new computer. It took a year and a bit of doing some broadcasting. And I was like, all right, wow, I don't need to. I was not saying I don't need to save money, but I was saving money. It's a bonus on how you feed PayPal. You don't even see it, But because of that, it improves the broadcast.
Absolutely.
Everything migrated over to the new computer. This broadcast, I think I have it on the new computer, but I can't remember. So I'm running it on here right now because I haven't touched the computer really the last couple of days. Yesterday, I pulled a solo at prime time.
I could make it.
Yeah, but it.
All right. Pace cars on pit road.
Yep. So I just let this computer. I have to move everything to get the other one working. So
You'll get there. You got to stop playing Valheim. You'll get there.
Yep. It's a fun game. I see Bobby Farrell in that 16 again. No sponsor. Anybody wants to sponsor this guy?
I know. I like that car.
We should chuck him $20 and put some Tarnation on that thing.
There we go.
I've got a turbo car. I've got a turbo
now you're
car.
talking. Robert Breedlove's going to start the show. Gets a good launch. Much better launch than Greg Lovell did. Last night's champion in the PRL Truck Series.
Yep.
Starting on the outside there. But that outside row, you got Rodney Sullins and Ken Roberts right behind him, Denny Carroll and Chuck McClure. That's a good group of guys to have behind you.
Yeah.
If they're going to stay with you, it looks like there for a minute, Ken Roberts is just going to try to go to the high side, but he just didn't quite get there. By doing that, he kind of killed that momentum on that high side for a minute. Give it a minute. That high side will come to it. Don't be surprised if you see Breedlove. I'd say Kelly Causey gonna go up there, but it's too late for Kelly to go up there. But would not be surprised to see Breedlove if he sees that line coming. He'll take that high side, take that momentum away from him. Some of them do, some don't. I don't get it. Some people love the bottom side. A lot of it just because when an accident happens, things will go up, but then they will come down. You're safer at the beginning of an accident on the bottom, because everybody goes to the wall. When they slow down, they all come back down. So, to me, it's just too tight, this setup. It's a great setup. Don't get me wrong. I think they'd have an awesome setup out here. But on that bottom groove, to me, on the exit of 2, it's just a little bit too snug. I'm so afraid I'm going to push up into somebody.
That's a weird one for me. Like when I'm on the low end here racing, if I'm on the bottom lane, like where Robert is right now, when I'm coming through these sections of the track, it really is where your eyes are. Kind of like when you're driving a real car, you have to aim high. If you're looking, that's where you're going to go. I find myself, if I'm looking too much at the track, or maybe the guy is next to me, I slide up. If I look way out through the end of the corner, I can keep the car down there. It's weird how it's a simulator, so it makes sense because that's how you drive in real life too. Especially in the snow. Don't look in the ditch. You're going to end up in the ditch in a big snowy ditch. True. Keep your eyes focused on the road, and somehow it just works. Last night's champion, Greg Lovell, led that lap. He had, Ken Robertson was behind him, and just behind the front of Chuck McClure, behind Rod Bucellins. Woo! Kelly Caza, something. Not good. Ooh, something happened there. I don't know if it was a bump gone wrong, or all of a sudden I just see Kelly Caza's car hook hard to the right. I think everybody was involved in that.
Not quite everybody. The guys out front got away from it, but it's not a good place to have that happen because I see Hillock just slam on the brakes. Bunch of drivers that wisely just hit the brakes and said nope. You have a parking lot in the tri-oval though.
Yeah, that had collected a lot of people. Holy moly!
Be interested to see what happened there. I think it started with Caza. I'm not sure. It kind of looked like all of a sudden Caza's car just hooked hard right. Either you got a bump went wrong or what it was.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of an internet thing. Oh, it looks like he might have got. Yeah, it was a chain reaction. We'll probably see this better from helicopter camera. So we're locked on to Palmer right now, and he's behind Kelly. And you can see Kelly, Robert. It kind of starts maybe even with Robert and a little bit of a checkup. Oh, and it's funny how it affected Robert enough too, where Little got loose. It actually took out the row in front of him. And then, of course, everybody behind starts looking for somewhere to go, and they start wrecking there too. Okay, so this might be a drone cam thing, because I can't focus on all of it. Okay, let's get a look at this.
Robert Breedlove's going to stay out. Now, I thought he led the first lap, so not sure why he's staying out unless he's decided that it's too early to pit. David Chin stayed out with him, as well as Dave Little. He said he's got a hot rod tonight. Keep your eye on him. Cody Lamas in the old Lowe's car tonight, and he stayed out, currently in the 4th position. And then Greg Palmer. I know Greg was involved in that. I saw when I glanced over at the broadcast that he was in the grass. So,
did you want to grab him and get his point of view on it?
Sure. Let's see if we can. We got to move him to a certain room here first for a minute, just to give him a chance. I got to find him. There's so many drivers in here. You got.
He's number 22. Yeah, most of them put their number on the thing on the TeamSpeak. Yeah. Let's see if we can get a lock on Palmer here.
Greg Palmer, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy. We got you there, Greg.
Hello.
Hey, just a quick question. We were just kind of wondering. I see that you ended up in the grass down there. What kind of happened from your point of view?
A lot of hard checking. I don't know what happened, really. I don't know You got me. You got a better view than I did.
You actually had a pretty awesome. Oh, I see what happened. Little came up late and got you because you got through the initial. We're just looking at the replay here now. The initial kind of the parting of the Red Sea right there, you were able to get through that. But then, unfortunately, David Little come up out of the grass and tagged you pretty hard. How many hammer swings in the pits to fix this thing?
Oh, I'll let you know in about 15 seconds.
Okay.
He's headed on down the pit road right now.
Yeah, I'm on the approach now. I don't know what started that. Yeah, I'm beside myself with that late hit. I mean,
You almost had it all cleared. I mean, you probably never even seen it coming, and
no,
shot off the grass.
There was enough time for him to slow down, unless the grass, he just spun out on the grass and he couldn't stop. So
That's the thing. When you get out in the lawn like that, you lose complete control of the car. So, unfortunately for most people there, some tore up race cars a little bit.
all right, got a couple of taps going on here. Not bad at all. Maybe 5 seconds.
Nice. Got lucky on that one. It looked like a pretty hard hit, but yeah, sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah, I'll check that out on a replay later. See what the deal was. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, all right. Well, get your butt up near the front there. We want to see you up there in the podium finishing for tonight.
Definitely 10-4 Thank you.
Thanks,
All right,
Greg.
good luck, buddy.
Hi, man.
I was gonna try to grab Kelly Causey and see what his opinion of it, but that's why we talked about it earlier. He was gone before I could do it.
Oh, he's completely left. Okay, gotcha.
That's kind of why when they talked about that, we would talk. That's why we were joking around earlier about having it on TARNATION TV TURBO. They, they kind of want us to bring in drivers after an incident like that. So we come up with a method to do that. And we also told them that, to tell the drivers that they were involved in an incident and they, wouldn't mind talking about it, to go down there. But obviously, Kelly didn't want to talk about it. So,
yeah, it's a thing too. We had a little meeting with Brian and Ken before the race, and they liked how we used to do it a while back. Talk to drivers under yellow, and then we just sort of got away from it, and it became a thing of. We really haven't done it in a while. I haven't done it in so long. I actually didn't have that live interview screen available still. I actually deleted it. So I'm like, yeah, we can put that back in. But it's a great team game, like the broadcasting thing, because we can come up with stuff,
Yep.
But then other people might see something that we do one week and go, hey, what if that evolved into this? And they're like, oh, wow, I never thought of that. So yeah, like any suggestions are more than welcome. It's always great to increase the product,
We've seen situations like where we have done naming, that started doing pace car drivers and whatnot. And next thing you know, we've got other leagues want us to do that. And I noticed that David Chim did stay out, led that last lap. Ken Roberts, who I believe did come down pit road the first time, Chuck McClure, and Craig Hagley. Garland Oaks also pitted about the third time by with Javier Legrand. Just, the guys are putting themselves in a different pit window, possibly. So if this goes green for a little bit, they know, like we always talk about, the guys like to get together in groups, and as a group that you trust and you can get down pit road really well with, a lot of guys will do that. We know that McClure and, Ken Roberts not only race here, but they also race at RTG, and, we've often see them guys work together. So
they always you can always tell like they almost look for each other sometimes. They'll actually go back and try to find their buddies, and it's neat to see
we see that with Randy Wall and Denny Carroll constantly. They're always looking for each other. I happened to be glanced over at the broadcast, and you had it on Rodney Sullivan's hauler. That guy's does amazing work.
Yeah, I forget about the haulers.
Got to get with
you can
them
change
too.
the MIP colors there and change the hauler graphics.
Got to get with them and talk with them, because I've still got to get through the interview process and everything for next Thursday. So
Oh yeah, if you're joining Rolling Thunder, yeah, you got to go. I mean, they know you can drive, so they're not going to take you out for a
I
test
raced it
drive.
Before.
Yeah. When I
just
joined
haven't
it, they
raced it.
wanted to see, like, they'd never heard of me before. Like, well, who is this guy? And so they have you come out, kind of like what they were doing here before in a practice. They got a 90-minute practice session before the race. You get out there and run with these guys, and they're like, okay, like, yeah, you definitely have played this game before. We just asked that you don't qualify, so you start at the back.
Yeah, I don't have a problem
And then
with
you
that 'cause I ain't
stay-
gonna qualify anyways.
Yep. And then you stay out of the way for a couple weeks, and then a little bit of respect, right? But green flag racing here. Let's start at lap number 8.
Greg Lovell had I think he was I don't know if he was the leader going in or not. I didn't quite catch that in time because we were on other discussion there.
He
but,
was, yes.
Rodney Sellen's got a really great start on that outside.
The field got
He's
broken
got
up a little
more
bit back there.
Our car's on that high side, and he's got Greg Lovell behind him, Dennis McCarthy. It looks like Hillock behind there, and Godfrey, Billy Elliser, and Mark Pagley on that high side. That high side's just got more momentum right now. Greg Lovell with Marion Gilardi and Bombard. Yep, I didn't. Tommy Bombard, right?
Terry.
Terry. Why do I call him Tommy?
I don't know.
Anyways, 3 cars on the bottom side there just aren't quite getting enough speed up yet.
Well, I just realized my ticker is only right. The ticker doesn't need to cycle to that second panel because there's only 27 cars tonight. That's why you're seeing a blank space right now underneath the first to 10th position will stay there all the time, and then the bottom is 11 to 27, and then 28 to 43. But there's only 27 tonight. I forgot to disable that secondary panel.
Well, you had, over 30 cars at the start. We've lost a couple.
Yeah.
Is that something you can quickly change, like by a button, or is it once you set it, it's set?
I would have to get out of the game to actually change it, so I'm just going to leave it. But
no, I understand that. That's why I was just casting.
Disabling it would be nice because then it would just stay like that.
Yep.
And it wouldn't, doesn't have to cycle. If there was 28, though, you'd have to do it because there's that one guy all by himself on that second page. But either way,
The middle line does right now. Rodney Sullivan's out there leading. Yeah, he's got Denny Carroll, Dennis McCarthy, Doug Hillock, and John Godfrey behind him. Some inside line just is starting to form up a little bit. Randy Watt just moved down there to make that a little bit better for him. See, now this is what we want to see. We've got the 3 wide going on down the backstretch. Once that third groove really...
Whoa! Billy Elliser got
good.
a little bit out of shape there and sideswiped Chuck McClure. Chuck somehow held that thing together, though. He lost about maybe 5 or 6 spots.
It lost a little momentum, too. That outside line lost a little momentum when that happened, so they're going to tuck back in there. But as I was trying to say, when that outside line starts to form up like that, and if it really gets to going, it's so funny. We have not figured out the physics of it. But once they get 3 wide like that, it actually pulls that center line and slows them down. So, which is the preferred line. Everybody wants to pretty much be in that preferred line in the middle until it gets close to pit stops. So it's really weird phenomena. Once they get 3 wide, it just slows it down. It's so cool.
And does it happen every time? I don't think it happens every time, though, because it's hard to predict it. Sometimes it doesn't seem to work like that.
And it seems like most of the time it does. And my thought philosophy on it is that it causes that middle line to kind of have to pinch it a little bit, I guess is the best way to put it.
Maybe.
So when you come off turn 2 in that center line, you've got room enough to move a half a car length up if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
When you've got 3 wide there, I believe that the inside line kind of it gets shortened up a little bit, so it can't really slide out as much as you'd probably like.
Well, in that high line, you can see how wide that middle lane actually is. Like, there's 2 lines right now in that middle lane. So if that high line is staying on the inside of that white dotted line to their right,
it pinches them off a little bit.
Squeeze them out, and that's part of the strategy of the high line. They want you to race low on the high line to squeeze that middle line, and then you're probably able to gain that speed. Billy Ellis are headed to the pits.
We've talked about how I prefer the high line out here. I'd rather be in that third groove. To me, it's just the feel of the way the car drives is better for me. And we talked about how some drivers just love the bottom, and to me it's a little too snug. We talked about that, how, you like to be up front, I like to be up back at the beginning of these things, and how you kind of like the bottom, because it kind of, if an accident happens, it clears the track up, and a lot of times you're not involved in it. But
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the bottom. I mean, the middle is always where you want to be. Yeah. But now you're a car paint guy. Is that 7-Eleven a throwback to somebody?
I have to look at that a little closer.
It just looks very cool.
It is a very nice looking car. Very
simple. He's got the faded blue with the red, white with the black numbers on the roof. For some reason, that looks familiar to me, and I don't know why.
He's got a Town Fair Tire sponsorship on it. Not sure.
Yeah, he's usually got the Town Fair, yeah.
No, he does some of his own paints, and so, some of these guys we all know Sullins. I mean, it's legendary. His paint schemes are just, some of his paint schemes are off the wall crazy, and some are just simple. But they are, either way you look at it, they're all really awesome.
Ken Roberts.
Ooh, I was just going to say that. I see somebody go down below the...
Yeah, they're crashing back here. Robert Spring caught up on it.
Somebody either looked like they got just a little loose, or may have gotten shoved down. I weren't sure. Didn't quite see it, but...
Well, the one car I painted in the field's all folded up, the 510. Oh, no. Spring.
Yeah,
I painted,
Spring,
yes,
too.
I forgot. I painted that one, too. Yeah, we got... How's it look? Is it scratched? It looks okay. I think we're all right on the 74. We're going to back that up.
David Chin was involved. See the back of David Chin's, the side of David Chin's car, the whole right side of it, took a pretty good hit.
There was a few cars wrecking on that one, too. Get into instant replay mode here. It kind of started where Ken got kind of pushed out of line. Yeah, it just got a little bit too crowded there. You can see it in slow motion, that green car, the 55. A little bit too crowded, so he had to move out of the way, which sort of helped, but then it causes that wave of checkup. Having Negron in there.
It's like, Bagley had to lift a little bit. That transferred back into Negron, then to Gulks, into Chin.
Oh man, Bombard rolling, everybody rolling down the hill. Branson are probably getting the worst of it.
It's like we said, it's that accordion effect that the accident or the incident happened 6 cars up, and it just it goes backwards. And sometimes like that, it's usually the 5th or 6th car back that gets the most damage out of it. This one wasn't quite like that, but
almost everybody coming down pit road.
Rodney Sellen's coming down. I'm going to keep an eye on him, see what he does for tires. Looks like no tires at all for Rodney Sellens, just fuel. Same thing for Denny Carroll. He's out of there first. They weren't by much, but Denny Carroll was pretty close to catching him at the line.
Bombard getting some work done there after the thing kind of went for a ride.
See Ken Roberts. He just led his first laps for the night. Stayed out. I don't know how involved he was in it. I know he's the one that kind of got shuffled out or got moved up a little bit there that kind of caused the accordion effect, but figured he might as well go out. Yeah, bonus points. You get points for leading a lap. Might as well get out there and get them when you get the opportunity.
Do you want to grab Ken and...
You can do that.
David Chin has retired with wheel problems.
And Robert, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy.
Gotcha.
Have a little fun there. What you got? A little shuffled out, maybe. I'm not really 100% sure what happened to you there. Give us a clue what happened and kind of shot you up the track.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what happened either. Cars started darting around, and I checked up a little bit. I think I checked up too much. I might have been the cause of that one. I'm going to go air and serve and see what happens.
Okay.
Oh, you're taking the blame for that, are you?
Yeah, I checked up pretty hard. When those guys started moving around, I wasn't sure exactly what was happening, so I checked up, and I think I may have checked up too far.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we're kind of looking at the replay thinking, okay, it just looked like it got too crowded and you kind of had to move out of the way. But yeah, I mean, you're better off to serve. And then because if they find you guilty of that later, you're going to lose an entire lap. So.
Yeah, exactly. I don't, long season, I can take a hit here, and there's plenty of race left, so we'll get back at it.
You got 50 laps to get back up front and dominate this thing. What do you mean?
Yeah. Lots of time.
We got faith in you.
Oh, yeah.
We got
Okay,
money.
all right.
Thing's Mountain Dew powered, man. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for coming up and chatting with us for a minute. Good luck. Go give them heck.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks,
You as
Ken.
well. All right.
Sir Ken of Roberts himself.
Yeah. Like his Aero 88 car that he runs.
Oh, man. Yeah, the
the
Mountain
old
Dew
school
on that
Mountain
is
Dew.
cool. The Aero 88, when you run, like, see, I'm excited to do the broadcast on Wednesday with TMP and the late model series because that's a very cool mod, not only because of how unique it looks, but the paint jobs it's going to yield because everybody's going to go and do very specific things. It's not the same. The cars don't look anything like this. So you need to get creative, and we'll probably see some cool old school looking stuff. It's going to be neat.
You'd like some of the templates that I've made for the late models. Different Camaros, and I actually made a guy wanted I think it was a Mazda 5 or something like that.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I made all kinds of templates.
Oh, you've made templates. I thought you meant like base paints. You're talking about
templates.
actual templates.
Actual templates.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I made in the Aero 88. I made the new Dodge Challenger template. Camaro, the new style Camaro.
Okay. Handful of cars coming back down pit road. Looks like Spring, Oaks, Hagley, ASR Lamas, Every Negron, Brian Wolf back there too. Just doing a quick splash. Yeah, guys are doing quick pit stops there.
Bobby Farrell is going to get the wave around and hit the back of his car. The left side of that rear of the car is kind of missing some pieces and parts. So missing the back. We've seen the back missing, and that's not really slowed him down too much. But he's got still has the rear back panel of it. Just the fender itself is a little bit messed up. I watched a thing about, I think it was Davey Allison, how they, back in the day when they had the steel, the steel bumpers, they were really street cars. And they had it rigged up so that when he got just a good enough bump, it would fall off. And it fell off, and losing 35 pounds of weight on top of taking the parachute, that is the rear bumper, off, he was 5 miles an hour faster than everybody else.
Wow. Rigging it to snap.
Yep.
So he could go, oh, damn, I just bumped into that guy. Bumper fell off.
He basically made hollow bolts.
Oh, my God, dude. I love the cheating. It's I don't know what it is. Like cheating, I've always said this, cheating in sport is horrible, right? Like if you're taking steroids and you're able to run 1,000 miles an hour faster than a guy in the Olympics, like, come on, man, it's the Olympics supposed to be. But man, cheating in motorsports, I absolutely love it.
I do
much.
And I don't. Well, let me explain. I do and I don't. Let me explain. Creative what's the word I'm looking for? Interpretation of the rules, I like.
Yes.
Blatant cheating, not so much. But
It is. It's reading the rule book and going, there's no rule that says I can't run a 48 yards of fuel pipe.
Yeah, like pace car just hit road. Rodney Solins is gonna on point. Danny Carroll on the outside. But yeah, no, just good innovation. I like.
Yeah, like if you're gonna cheat, like you run a nitrous, like okay, come on, Like you gotta
They did.
be a little bit more creative than that. You gotta get, like you said, the guy with the basketball
Ooh.
inside the gas tank, and, all that kind of stuff.
Rodney Sons did not get a great start, but Mark Paglia made sure that he stayed going good. Paglia was on point. He wasn't. Denny Carroll really didn't get a great start as well. Greg Lovell's trying to get him pushed up there, but they should. They'll get that outside going, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Rodney Sullins do exactly what I said he was going to do.
I was just going to say that. Well, we might see someone move to the to the higher
I just
lane.
had a feeling. Knew that outside was going to go.
I always feel so bad when that happens for like Mark, because he was able to keep, like you just said, he was able to keep Rodney going. Maybe he might have been about a half-second reaction time off. Mark gave him a little bump to get him rolling, and then he bails on him.
Angelardi got the highlight and handsome. He's third groove on the outside. Randy Waugh helping him. Chuck McClure, Ken Roberts, all on the high side, getting that thing a rolling. And it's like you said, you watch that inside line as Sullins and Denny Carroll drop to the bottom.
Greg's looking for it.
A little bit of tap onto Doug Hillick there.
Yeah, he made a lane change. I don't know if he even saw Doug.
No, there was. If there was room, they weren't much, and he took it.
Yeah. So we'll back that up. We'll back that up for a second here.
So just watching to see. I don't think that the high line with Mangialardi is going. I don't think Denny Carroll can get up there now. Does Rodney Sullins go up there, or does he look in the rearview mirror and say, I'm happier with Denny Carroll behind me? What a push by Paglia into Denny Carroll, into Rodney Sullins. Down that little short shoot after the tri-oval. Pushed them right almost back out to the lead. That was a heck of a shot.
Very frantic out here to get this race going. It seems to be everybody's just kind of moving around too much. Maybe not too much, just different. Sometimes it's different, like you get out here and you just have to do things different sometimes.
You got to go with the momentum, as we talk about that all the time. You saw Rodney Sullins pull up in front of Denny Carroll, but he did it the right way. He didn't slow that line down at all. He just kept the momentum going. Sometimes if somebody does it a little bit too late, they end up stagnating that line just a little bit, and it slows that line down. And Roberts down to the bottom, pulled out in front of Rodney Sullins, and want to see if they can get that inside groove working.
If anybody can get it working, it's those guys. As long as they got some help, and they do.
Well, the thing you got a key right now to watch is them guys down the backstretch. Is Roberts in front. Sullins is just pushing him down the backstretch. Denny Carroll pushing Rodney Sullins. That's what's going to get him up there. Craig Hagley drops from the high side in front of Ken Roberts. It amazes me. Your spotter's going to say, right now they're going to say, too wide. Car on the outside, car on the inside. But these guys can see it coming, pull down there like that, and not hit anybody. How they get that timing down, that's what amazes me.
And that all leans on the hitboxing you're talking about with the mod itself. Once you're used to where the car is, you can beat your crew chief by about a quarter second on that move. He doesn't have to say that it's clear.
Paglia now just dropped from the high side to that bottom. But yeah, it is. It's true. You've got when the hit points are right as they are in this mod. It's actually pretty cool because you can judge it better when you get into sometimes like the Aero 88s. Although I love the Aero 88s, I think the hitbox on them extends out of the car visual point a bit. So you start pushing the car before you actually visually see them hitting them.
Right.
That's where it causes a lot of problems. As you can see, if you watch these guys, I just watched Ken Roberts pushing Hagley right down through that little short chute again, and then he was just right into that bumper. It looked like he was perfect right to it. So the hitbox on this is awesome.
Yeah, you can see that on that angle there. Like, the front bumper is inside the back bumper just a tad.
But what's great about it is it's not, buried deep into the car, or he's pushing him, and you see a visual gap between them. When they hit him, it's right there.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of overlap, but that's also, you could do the metal bends. We can just say that.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, like you're saying, if you're like a legitimate like half car inside the other car, like, okay, there's something wrong with the model. We got to fix this. They're going by Farrell there now.
I say Farrell, on the high side, we know he was damaged. So, but it's funny how the evolution of the Superspeedway car. They originally, you would almost use exhaust tubing, up front and rear bumpers, really light tubing, just to hold the front nose and hold the rear, the rear bumper lid on there. You don't want to put any excess weight in front of the wheels or behind the wheels. To the point now where they're building whole roll cage structures because you need that to push.
Yeah.
And that really, drafting has always been a big play into that. When they got into the car tomorrow, what kind of happened, and it was basically stemmed around Denny Hamlin. He realized that the cars actually matched. So, they were almost like every car was the same, just the stickers were different. And they took away some of the points to it. So the front of the car was better suited for pushing. And Denny just got up behind somebody and started pushing him. And didn't lift off in the corner, did nothing. Realized he was getting a little warm. So then that started them moving off to the right-hand side so that they're still pushing. The car in front of them is still breaking some of the air, but yet they're getting a little bit of air in the radiator.
Yeah, you're going to overheat because you're covering up the grill, yeah.
Then it got to the point where they realized, well, they just pushed until somebody overheat. They had... Think of it now. Right now, every driver out here has got a spotter. Well, they ended up having a problem where one spotter could be talking to 2, 3, 5 different cars at a time.
Yeesh.
Because, so you and I are out there racing. I'm behind you. I'm getting hot. The spotter would say, all right. You guys got to switch. So they have it worked right out perfectly where one driver would just pull up, let the other guy go. He'd tuck in, behind. That would cool down that car that was getting warm.
So they run, like NASCAR actually has cars designed differently for super speedways than they do the regular tracks?
Yeah, they do. Where the air inlets in them and all that. NASCAR's solution to it wasn't a very good one. So what they did was first thing they did to prevent people from doing that was they regulated how much of an opening they could have. So basically there was enough air so that plenty to cool the motor. But as soon as you got stuck behind somebody, it would overheat. So you would be forced to get out from underneath them. Too many blown motors, because it was just not the right answer. And then their next answer was, you can't stay in contact for so long. But they've just changed the cars. Now you've got the cars now are basically made for safety. That's great. Yeah. But in that same token, they're caused it now where we've talked about how we've had fuel mileage races, here. But now that's their normal style of racing, and it's getting boring.
Right. I saw an article on how there's 100,000 seats empty at like Bristol or something. Like people just aren't going to the races anymore. And it's like, well, you got to make the races more exciting. Maybe get rid of something, change something up. You got to do something.
Yep. Mike Mangialardi still out front, out there leading them out. Randy Wahlberg behind him. Chuck McClure, Javier Negron, and Garland Oaks is your top 5. And they've just kind of gotten themselves situated where they've got a little bit of a lead out there. We see a few different drivers try to kind of go down and see if they can get that lower line going or the higher line. Just not had a lot of success with it. We're probably, I think, what when we last... We still probably got about 10 laps before they have to pit again. You'll kind of see that when they start forming to the bottom. You'll see kind of everybody start migrating down there, and then it'll get more of it in a straight line, and then we'll see a lot of pitting. Carroll is way off the pace as they go and lap him again.
Yep.
But hey, give him props. He's out there running still. Points. He's a points racing, so got to keep going.
Well, and he knows where to be, right? It's just he knows the drill. He sees him coming. You get up there, hold your line, and they'll take care of it. And everybody's
And it's-
probably hollering to him too, right? Like, hold your line, yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, it's a 10 race
It helps.
season. He's still out there. We don't want. I'd like to see this go green the rest of the way. But should a caution come out and we lose 5-6 drivers, that's 5 more positions for him. If he's able to continue through the whole night. So that's why he's still out there. But the good thing is Bobby's one of these guys that he knows the drill. He's out at off speed, off pace a little bit. He's gonna have to just get out there, try to finish the race, and he knows exactly where to be to not slow down the leaders or the front pack at all, and just he's gonna finish the race if he can.
And that's the thing. If he had retired, then say he's in 25th spot, and that's what you're gonna get. So now, if somebody has an issue in front of him, loses an engine, cuts a tire, whatever, he'll pass that car as long as he's got enough laps. He's 2 laps down, so you go a couple laps, you pass that car, you gain that position, you gain those points. So it's like if you're not out here running and they're not kicking you off the track, it's up to race control to pull the pin. Like if they want to give him the black flag for going too slow, then they will. Like how fast is he actually going? We got another pack back here: Robert Spring, Dave Little, and Brandstetter. That's 22, 23, and 24th positions. And Bobby's about 161 mile an hour, so he's okay. It's not fast, but
Still going.
Yep, they're not telling him to leave, so you're going to keep on trucking.
We saw Ken Roberts start a third group or a group on the high side there. That kind of shuffled him around. Now Chuck McClure is in the lead as of current, hasn't crossed the start-finish line yet. He's got Javier Negron right behind him, Greg Palmer, Dennis McCarthy, and John Godfrey, Mark Paglia, Hagley, all on that bottom line, trying to see if they can get up there and sneak maybe a point for Chuck. But high line's coming back hard. We always talk about this. The inside line seems to get a better runner in, and the outside line, if they're formed up well, always seems to get a better run off. I think that Mangialardi is going to lead that one. Yep.
Chuck McClure has yet to lead a lap. Mangialardi taking that lap will be his 13th lap led, which will actually take over the lead for the most laps. Rodney had 12, and so did Mike until that lap right there. So Mike is now has the most laps led on the race, 13.
Now you see him moving down to the bottom there.
Yeah,
Even though that line wasn't really coming out strong, but I think it's getting closer to the point where pit stops will be coming along. So I think Mangialardi decided, okay, we're going to get down there at the bottom, that we're in position. No, if it's not what he's doing, because if the outside line starts to come, well, you'll see them guys move up in front of that.
Just focused on Javier's car, Negron in the 40. Cool looking car. You said that's a Dale Jr. throwback?
It's not really a Dale Jr. throwback. Last 2 years in the Daytona 500, Dale Jr. has brought a cup car to the Daytona 500.
I see.
Justin
like
Allgaier has driven it.
Right.
It's a Travelers Travelers Whiskey sponsorship. They've done it for the last 2 years. Now, Dale Jr. keeps saying he doesn't want a cup car. He doesn't want to be a cup car owner, but they keep dabbling in it at Daytona.
You have to.
Well, with the charters now, I get it. When they first started kind of having the charters, which I don't necessarily agree with, but they do have their good and bad points. They were like $1 million, $2 million. Now they're up to like, $30-40 million for a charter. And it's just a little bit ridiculous.
What do you mean? Like a flight?
It's how do I put it?
What do you mean charter? Like
I'm having a charter. You get money from NASCAR from some of their sponsors and stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh, we got pit stops happening here.
You're talking about planes, like private jets.
No, I'm talking about owning a cup car that's in the field, guaranteed to be in the field.
Gotcha.
I don't know when it started, when it came all about. I don't think it's the right thing, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Money, money, money.
Yep. So that led Garland Oaks lead a lap, seeing how the top, the three of the cars there went down pit road.
In the YouTube chat there, I just saw Nate Balser. Hello from Nate and Angela from the coast. We've got our feet in the ocean on the beach. Well, to say hello, see you next Saturday. Cheers. Nice.
Palmer, Cody Lamas, Johnny Godfrey, Billy Elser, and a few others are coming down pit road now. A whole host of others.
Nice.
Nicely done. Very nicely done.
Fantastic.
I like it when that happens.
Yeah, it's perfect. We're not there yet, though. Finding your pit stall and making sure you're in the right order is half the battle.
Craig Hagley's the only one that didn't pit. Be interesting to see how that works for him. He did come out. We see usually here with these guys that when they pit and they come out, they usually come out around the leaders or the cars that hadn't pitted yet. And so he was kind of lucky enough to catch some of the lap down, or I'd say lap down cars, but at the time they would be, to draft with. But he is pitting now all by himself. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get in and out quick enough so that he doesn't lose much time. Then we go to that same game to try to find who's the leader. I think it's going to be Ken Roberts when it all comes down. So Ken had a really good pit stop. He's gotten himself out front, not by a whole lot. He's got Cody Lamas and Javier Negron running him down.
Oh, yeah, they'll run him down quick. And Craig Hagley did get credit for that last lap lead, so Roberts will be your leader, but maybe not.
He's not going to be, because Dennis McCarthy on the high side, they had 3 cars up there, had a really good run. Cody Lamas and Javier Negron on the bottom. Ken Roberts is just kind of getting up to speed. Rodney Sullivan's going to give him a little shot.
Yeah, they'll collect him eventually, but
give you a little shot. Get that rubber band wound up a little bit tighter, a little sooner, which was a big help. I mean, you saw the difference if you had it on there. He got hit. He was losing a little ground. He's starting to get caught up, and Sullivan's just give him a good shot. It just pushed him right out there, and he right back up to speed. I was going to say we should have Dennis McCarthy as the leader, but no, I don't think that's going to happen. Randy Waugh may have that. I don't know. Denny Carroll's kind of gone to that high side. Think it's going to be Denny Carroll? No.
That'll be Randy.
Waugh just beats him out. That's a lap lead for Randy Waugh.
Yep, his first one of the night. Craig's got 2.
Unfortunately for Denny Carroll, it was a good effort to try to get up there and lead a lap. He got stuck out there in the sucker hole and is going backwards. Of course, you see Randy Waugh kind of moving up there, trying to help him out. We know Randy Waugh and Denny Carroll, they'll look each other out and work together for the most part. So, not surprising to see that. Steve Brand-Centered up on the high side, involved in that earlier incident, the whole back of the car missing. So he graciously goes to the very high side, lets them guys go, tucks right in behind him. Let's see, hopefully he's got car enough maybe that can stick right to him there.
Crazy how much this top half just kind of got mixed up a little bit. Greg Palmer being able to get back up there.
Yeah.
After falling to the back and, after their first couple incidents, and we've been clean green racing ever since then, so.
So the next question is what ended up happening to Hagley? I think he probably look for him.
Yeah, he was out there. He was able to he had to finally pit because he was obviously taking that thing right to the bitter end. But now he's going to be out there by himself.
He's out there with Billy Elser. So by missing the pit stop with them guys, the group, he was out there by himself, which amazingly is quite a bit slower. And so, that hurt him quite a bit. So now he's, back in 18th position. Oh, let's see here. He's about 11 seconds, a little over 11 seconds off the pace from the laid car. So, that's what kind of hurts if you pit by yourself. You don't have that extra help to get you caught back up to speed.
Especially when you look at this main pack being led by Cody Lamas. It's got, it's a pretty strong pack. That's going to be it is actually 17 cars.
Yeah. Back,
Well,
you see,
17 lead lap cars. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't believe Bransitter's in there. No.
Robert Spring, Dave Little, Mark Paglia are back there. They haven't quite got formed up. Little and Spring just caught up to Paglia. They're still trying to figure out who the pecking order, who's going to be up front, whatever. But once they do, they'll get themselves hooked up. Right now, currently they're not going that fast, about 186 miles an hour down the straightaway. But as soon as they get kind of lined up, that might cushion that blow a little bit. Are they going to catch the lead pack? I kind of doubt it with 3 cars, but it will make it a little bit easier for them. They'll get their speed up. So, like, currently right now, a minute ago, he was turning, 186 down the backstretch. They just went through the tri-oval at 191. So you can see there's a big difference by getting the 3 cars together. They'll definitely pick up a lot more speed, a lot more time. As McCarthy's got himself worked out there into the lead. Get away from Cody Lamas. I've just taken a quick look. That's his first laps led tonight.
Yeah, a lot of guys sharing the lead here. Like we had David Chin was able to lead one. Unfortunately, he had to retire from the race with wheel issues. Robert Spring's got 1. Hagley, Breedlove each have 2. 3 laps for Greg Lovell, 1 for Randy Waugh. I'm just working my way up the list. Mike Mangialardi has 15 laps led. Garland Oaks has 1. Lamas has 3. 12 by Sullins. And Roberts and McCarthy have 1 apiece. So a lot of lead changes so far tonight. And this pit window should open up probably around, I'm guessing, lap 55, 56. Couple different pit strategies, of course, but that'll get them within 10 to go probably. So
you'll see probably no tires taken. Trying to think back, I know we've interviewed Jenny Carroll before, asked him questions, and he would tell us, well, I believe it's a full can would give you 10 laps.
I think it's, half a can's about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
A full can's about 10, 11.
So they're going to try to go down.
1 can, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, 1. Yeah. I would say 1 can.
Run her till she's dry and take 1 with no tires. You can get out of there pretty quick.
The only thing I think you would see any different, and I don't see anybody doing it, and if they did, we'd have to start blaming them, NASCAR on that, but because it's what they do. We've seen races like this when it gets to a scenario where fuel mileage, not necessarily fuel mileage, they all know that they're going to have to pit one more time.
Right.
But what they'll do is they'll slow down to maybe they can go enough laps so that they can only take half a can. But they all do it. It's not like they lose any time and whatever. They go out and they take a half can so they can make that pit stop a lot quicker.
And we've seen that before. We've watched it. Like they seem to be running slower, and then we're looking, going, oh, they're only doing like 189 instead of 199. And when it's everybody, it's weird because we're used to the speeds these guys are traveling. Sometimes it takes a couple of laps to realize, I think they're running slower. And check the speeds,
we did.
Wow, the
had
whole
that one
field
race
is conserving.
You had that one race where you were going, wait a minute, they're not going full song here, and we took us a minute to realize what they were doing, and they're saving fuel.
Yeah.
Nate Balzer says he's listening to the race along with the waves. That's a rough Saturday evening.
Yeah. Hey, I asked Rod at the beginning what he's drinking because I got a cider. What are you guys drinking? Come on.
Tell us what you're drinking, Nate. I got my old familiar electric lemonade,
Or even a really good cup of coffee. That'd be good too.
Maybe for my sister, not for me.
Lap traffic right here. You got Little, Paglia, and Spring. And they're going around to the right side of them. This is... and possibly causing... no, maybe not. Everybody's finding their way. there's brush. They're gonna come
was
up
gonna
on
say-
brush real
Whoa!
quick. Holy moly! Four wide right
Brush's-
there.
Brush's speed was quite a bit different, even
Yeah.
for the slower cars
Wow.
there. When I say slower, oh no, Paglia and Brush got to touch, go down through the grass. I don't see a yellow flag condition yet.
No, that won't happen yet. Man, they almost got through that.
Almost did, yeah.
I mean,
So-
like Spring, Little, and like that move was, those guys were, I can't remember who it was now. It was Spring, Little, and Paglia, I believe. Were able to hold that 4 wide. And just a little tap, and that will not bring out yellow because they are off the racing path. So
the answer to the question, we got the answer sent to us by Angela. 6 shots of Americano?
Americano.
What is
It's coffee.
Americano? Oh,
Yep, I said even a nice cup of coffee would be cool, and I was right. There's like
You're gonna-
espresso, and then there's Americano, and it's all coffee stuff.
yeah.
It's basically straight up caffeine injection. Americano, I'm pretty sure.
You're gonna do that. You do my sponsor. You know that I do run on the car. The car I run on Thursday. You know the Jaeger bomb,
There you go.
Red
yeah.
Bull and Jaeger.
A good
I'll
cup
get
of
you
coffee
going.
by the beach. That's a cool one, especially when the sun's setting.
Cody Lamas has been out there for 8 circuits right now. You said probably about 6 laps, maybe.
Black
figured they'd be
flag
seeing-
Paglia. Black flag to the 28.
That
That
would
might
be
have had to stem
probably-
from his speeding on pit road because he was sliding
Right.
backwards through the pits.
Yep. Yeah.
But he's serving. It looks like he might be serving a penalty. Oh no, he's getting serviced right now.
You'd have to do that. Because I believe the yellow and black flags that are cleared, are for a scenario where, on a restart,
Yeah.
if he wants to continue in the race, he's going to have to serve that penalty. And it's an unfortunate thing, you get sent down pit road, in the excess of the 55 mile an hour pit lane speed road, sideways and backwards, and you have to do a drive-through penalty.
Hey, you were
for
speeding, or like an unsafe pit exit or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, but I was out of control, bro. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. The game doesn't know. All the game sees is your speed and when you're coming in
Yep.
and when you're leaving.
That's why hot pitting's so fun, because if you do it right, you can gain a lot of time. If you don't, you come back in and try it again.
Yeah.
We're getting closer, probably about we figured about 3 to 4 laps till they pit again.
I mean, anybody pits anytime now, they can definitely make it to the end. I do believe, though, they'll try to run or dry and get within that
Yeah.
1 can range, so they only need to use 1 gas can.
Yeah.
Because if the gas man has to switch cans, you're talking more time, so they want to only have him come over the wall once.
I think you'll see, like, Garland Oaks, he's just sitting there tucked in behind Cody Lamas. He's letting him, break the air for him.
Yep.
That might potentially get him a little bit more distance in the travel by saving fuel. I think you get back to where Doug Hillick, Chuck McClure, and further on back in that same line, they're going to save even more fuel. And I think if you look at like Rodney Sellens on that inside groove, the inside groove, I really think in that scenario, you can save a little bit more fuel just because it seems to kind of have a little bit of a checkup kind of effect where you have to lift a little bit more often and not by choice, kind of you have to, and it saves fuel that way more. They're starting to migrate down, so unfortunately Doug Hillick got left high and dry up there. We saw Mangialardi used to be the first one to kind of drop down there, and now everybody's kind of working on it.
Where Hewlick is, and the same with McClure and who's that, Brian Wolf, where they are is fine as long as the 2 or 3 cars to their left are going at the same time.
Right.
You don't need to be down there as long as you know the guys beside you are also going with you.
But you don't want to be doing that where they are and be Rodney Sullins not hitting.
Exactly. Yeah, you're
So
then trapped.
that's where that's where that becomes an issue, because everybody's trying to go, but Rodney Sullins is stuck in a scenario where, you know, he really doesn't have anywhere to go. So, you know what I mean? But he's not pitting. That's where, you know, they have a lot of the issues. So I'm keeping an eye on the chat just to see if and when somebody is kind of coming into pit road. Mm-hmm. We know it's going to happen soon. We know there's one more, as you said before, one more stop. So we're pretty much 100% sure nobody's going to take tires. Unless you smoke off the left side tire going in, you know, you're not going to change it.
Yeah. Mike Brush in the 53 has retired. He was running way
Robert
off pace
Breedlove
there.
is pitting this time by.
All by himself.
Wow. Doug Helix found some room to get down to the bottom.
Maybe he had to. Maybe Robert was running out of fuel.
Oh, Dennis McCarthy's coming in this time by.
Let's see what happens here.
Steve Brandstetter, Randy Waugh, Doug Helick, Mike Mangialardi. We're going to see a mix of drivers here coming around this time by that are going to pit, you know. Hey, Carroll's coming in, and Roberts, Doug Helick, said, Tommy Bombard, Dave Little. Nice. They all come in, nice, beautiful stops. They're coming in right when you said they were, so good call on that.
Oh, thank you.
So Cody Lamas is going to come in. Then let's see, we got Godfrey, Palmer.
Yep, Oaks is in there.
Oaks, Rodney Sullins.
Wolf.
They're all coming in this next time by.
Yep, McClure and
Denny
Wolf
Carroll.
as well.
Interestingly enough, Denny Carroll took left side tires.
Left side tires.
Left side tires.
Interesting.
That's crazy. You're not that bad. If you got time enough to do it. So if you do, it didn't hurt him.
Godfrey out of the pack there, and pits
Yellow
are closed.
flag is out.
Yep, you saw everybody go back to the track. Those guys still could have driven down the pit road if they wanted to and just not get service, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Godfrey gets spun around, and then you'll see that little pit guy there. He puts out that red flag, and everybody skates to the left. Go around the cone, around the cone.
I was going to say it's going to put Ken Roberts out there, but it is a race back situation. I believe.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on who gets there first. It's going to be a close one. Can Helick pull it off? Ow. Looking, okay, so Helick is the lead car that had just pitted, but should, depending on how it all comes out, should put Helick out front because he was one of the cars that just pitted. But there again, we're going to have to wait and kind of see what happens. So the guys that hadn't pitted yet are going to pit, and they're going to end up going to the back.
Black flag Little, black flag Waugh. Not sure why that would have happened. Might have been a pit entrance.
Little pitted, but he might have sped on pit road.
Okay.
Maybe.
Now, if that happened under yellow, that's just an EOLL.
Right. So it depends too when it happened, where they were. If it was a speeding penalty, did it happen before the yellow came out, or did it not? So if it did while the yellow was out, that would be the end along this line. If it was under the green, I do believe they could do a drive-through under the yellow flag conditions, and it should clear it.
I guess we'll find out. Those flags remain. While we're under yellow here, do you want to get a word from our sponsor?
Absolutely.
Well, let's see. We got Bryant Motorsports involved in a lot of things going on here. Season number 2 at All-Star Racing League. So, Bryant Motorsport Auto Sales, thanks again for your sponsorship. We love it. We love doing this stuff. It's a lot of fun. We'll just watch some advertising.
At the Parts Barn Used Auto Parts, we're crushing cars and prices. The last Saturday of every month is half price. We pull for you, or you pull your own and save even more. Call or search inventory at partsbarnva.com. The Parts Barn, Suffolk and Portsmouth.
Get this car for Grandma. Me too. He got it at Bryant Motorsports on High Street in Portsmouth. She's really gonna love it. I know, right? If you need a car, give us a call at 393-2600. That's 393-2600.
Thanks, Bryant Motorsport Auto Sales, for your sponsorship. Make sure to play those commercials, because those guys are paying the bills.
Robert Spring and Dave Little should be our lucky dogs, so they'll get back on the lead lap. I don't know if they're up to speed. We haven't had quite a good long green flag run right there, so I don't know, whether, I know they're probably just might have had bad pit stops, or whether they have, a significant enough amount of damage that was also slowing them down. I think Spring was able to keep up to the pack when he, got lapped. But I think he might be okay. I'm not sure about the rest of them. Of course, Paglia, he took a trip down pit road. Let's see if Paglia is still out there. He is.
The black flags have been cleared.
Yeah, so like I said, with Dave Little, we saw him go down pit road. I think just the going down pit road, stopping and pitting cleared his black flag. So, going to figure out who's going to be leading this thing. It's going to be Doug Hillick. Okay. Carroll's on the bottom. Unless somebody pits, but with 6 laps to go, I don't think that's going to happen.
So those 3 cars there, you've got Little and ASR. No. Yes.
Might have been a wave round.
Robert Spring's not up there. He's staying back in the pack there. So there's a wave around position there too, because Brand said it.
Might have been. Lights are off on the pace car.
Where wave around works is you can see the leader sits there, and if you're stuck between the leader and the pace car and you do not pit, you can take a wave around, which allows you to go. Same thing. It's like a built-in lucky dog, but it's minus the pit stop. That's the gamble you're taking. But sometimes it works out where you don't need to pit, and you just say, I'll take the wave around, and you stay out. And that way you don't go that extra lap down. Because I believe it was
Yep.
Was it Paglia? That was okay. It's updated. Okay.
So we're going to have 4 laps to go.
Yeah.
Paglia's 2 laps down, so he probably went 1 lap down just pitting. You know what I mean? Because he was got shoved down there, kind of sorted. He's got to get it sorted out. Got to get back, and they're pitted because it's probably his tires were no good. Come back out, probably got caught for speeding. Had to go back in. That's going to easily put him 2 laps down.
Mm-hmm. Especially because where the line is located too.
Yep.
That sometimes it works in your favor, but sometimes, depending on timing, you're traveling at pit road speed, which is 55, and they're pacing by you at 70. They're going to get there first.
Yeah, and then sometimes we've seen that happen where cars were, as the pace car does take the trip down pit road, it's going to have 4 laps to go. But I've seen it where cars have pitted, come out, and as they were coming off pit road, caution comes out, and they come out the leader because, of course, the line is at the end of pretty much just a little ways down after pit road.
Right.
On the high side, he's got himself out there a little lead. If that's going to be a good thing or not depends on how much Roberts comes up behind him. Danny Carroll's on point.
Wow.
Big jump. Now, I don't know if that's going to work too good for him or not. Everybody, Tom Barbard is right there on Javier Undergrand. Hillock goes to the bottom.
Okay, so Hillock had lane choice there because he's the leader.
Yep.
So he chose to go up there, and now he came back.
Well,
but the space
remember,
opened up.
I think
right?
it's.
There he goes.
I'm just going to say, with Hillock and Danny Carroll, I don't know. I know it's Robert Friedlove and Randy Waub. Hillock's, that was a good, smart move. Got down there in front of Javier Undergrand, got a good push out there.
Yeah. He went up and down and blocked, maybe not blocked, but was able to skate his way back in there. A couple of great moves by Doug to put him back in first place here.
Danny Carroll, he still has not led a lap yet tonight. Puts Hillock in the lead with 3 to go. Oh no, Paglia's around in the back.
Racing back. And we've got cars down.
This could be for it, too.
This might be it.
You're going to watch somebody, he's never going to look out that front windshield. He's going to be looking right in that rear view mirror, playing the lines, trying to perfection.
Yeah, he's got a big gap there, too. Here they come, and they're going to give him a push, so that helps.
Good push by Javier Undergrand.
Yep. Javier's really good, man. He's not going to do anything silly. Like, look, I'm not going to try to go around you. It's too early. Just give you a bump.
Now, Bombard on the bottom side. Now, let's see if that high line, is it going to get that shot? Underground gets a wicked shot by Denny Carroll.
Oh, he's not going to get him. That's close. The interval says 0.02. 23 holds it.
I believe that's going to be the end of the race. We're going to have Denny Carroll in third. We're going to have Javier Undergrand in second. And Doug Hillock, he's going to be your winner tonight. And I guarantee you one thing, he is going to come up to the booth before every race now and say, you bring me up in the darn booth and talk to me before this race.
Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome.
Special guest preliminary interview this evening, and he didn't need to win. He needed to get a podium, but hey, why not, right?
Yeah. Hey, perfect for him.
We'll load this up and see what happened here.
He came into tonight 8 points behind Nate Balzer, and Balzer's got his feet in the sand and listening to the waves. So, he's going to get knocked out of there. Greg Lovell, he was back in the 7th position. Billy Elliser, even further back than that. So there's a really good possibility that Doug Hillock is going to be your points leader leaving tonight, barring that there is no penalties.
Looks like Paglia just kind of slid out of his lane right across the nose of the 711. It was kind of the only car really involved in that, but he spun out in front of a few other guys, so that's the cause for the yellow.
Saw Billy Elliser go by, so I don't know if they consider, a lucky dog even though it's, this late in the race, so they might have just said, you're the lucky dog, just go around, you know what I mean? We'll clear the black flag for you. You'll be back on the lead lap. So
Mark Paglia has retired as well.
Not a good night for Paglia. He's
And
been a
him retiring, sorry to step on you, him retiring won't really affect much because there's only a couple laps left anyway, so he can retire and still kind of finish in the same spot. Did I lose audio on the game? I think I lost audio on the game. That's weird.
So, welcome to
happened
the
there?
electric car series.
Yeah. Oh, I paused it.
We're going
I
green.
do,
next
I
time
do
by.
like
The
Alton
paved car
Stallings there
on
in
the back
the
straight.
the chat.
There it
He's
goes.
saying,
That was
38,
weird.
get your car off the bottom.
No, I got audio back now. Weird.
Okay.
I went into the pause menu and I clicked on drive, put my car on pit road, and then the audio came back. That was strange. I've never had that happen before.
Very strange.
Yeah, it went completely silent, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm in spectator cam, I'm far away, but then I switched to helicopter, and it's completely silent, which is weird because that's the loudest camera I have. Either way,
We got
it's
to
not
get
over yet,
exciting. We're gonna coming to the one lap to go.
yeah, one lap to go. Oh my God, they're
Felix
side by
Alvarez.
side. Yeah, the intervals are going to look crazy because there's going to be like 20 guys all within half a second of each other because they're all stacked up on a restart, even though it's not a restart. But yeah, great run by Doug. Great push by
Absolutely,
Javier.
great
He owes Javier a high five or a 6-pack or something. Because
Underground
Negron
stuck
was
with him
able
really
to,
good.
yeah, was able to place that bump because I mean, Hewlick was out in front by a pretty good distance, which isn't the greatest place to be on a super speedway. You're going to get railroaded, but then just coming into that turn.
Hillock chose to go in front of Javier Negron, and Negron just pushed him.
Yep. Gave him the
was
perfect
the
push
difference.
and was able to get him out there in front of Denny and everybody else, and here we are.
I don't know, is Hillock, I know Javier Negron is kind of part of that team wrecking ball thing.
Yep.
And I think Hillock is too. I'm not 100% sure, but they are Toyota teammates. How the old saying, Mark Martin used to say, Fords don't breathe with Chevys.
Yeah.
They asked him one time, how come you wouldn't work with, such Chevy driver? And he goes, Fords don't breathe with Chevys. Ford man through and through in his early days.
Yeah.
We're on the last lap here, going down the backstretch. Pace car's got the lead. I think he's going to win the race. No.
Yeah.
Get it exciting for you guys.
So now I'm looking at the stats here now. You got Farrell still running, but he's not going to be able to pass Paglia, I don't believe. He needs a couple more laps to leapfrog him.
Yeah.
So Paglia was able to retire and still hold the position against a car that's still running.
Hats off to Bobby Farrell for, that's the good strategy to do. It didn't pay off, and it sucks running around there slow, but it could have been an opportunity to get more points. And if you didn't do it, and something happened and people dropped out, you would have felt bad for not making up those points. So hats off to Bobby.
Yeah, he could have had 5 less points or 10 less points. You never know, right? It all comes down to that.
We got to talk to that Denny Carroll guy again.
Yep.
Guy's got some pretty good super speedway prowess. I had to laugh. He showed up on Wednesday. We ran Kansas. Yeah, open setup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit.
Open's a different game, yeah.
It's a different animal. Great super speedway racer, not so much a short track racer, especially when you have to go and make a setup. But good job by Doug Hillock, though. That was pretty cool. Let's see what kind of burnout. With all those mosquitoes on his tires, he might be able to get a pretty good burnout going. Of the back of that car where it says, "You got black flag."
Yeah.
Everybody going up, give him a little congratulations shove.
Your race winner. And Javier Negron in second place, and Denny Carroll in third. That is your podium for this evening.
Looking at the points shake-up, Denny Carroll, Doug Hillick, they're going to be up there at the top of the points. Javier Negron was, I don't even know, was he here last week?
I can't remember. He'd be on the stat sheet. Let me check.
He was last week, but he finished in 31st position. I remember he kind of got caught in one of those events last week, 2 weeks ago. He's not afraid to burn it down. I've lost sight of him a couple of times here. He has got the perfect circles going, and got to look at it in spectator view. He's not going to have any cars left.
Probably not.
All right. I think he's done burning it up. Let's see if we can get Denny Carroll up here. Denny Carroll, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy. Why did we always catch him? Stepped away for a minute.
He'll be back.
I got you.
There he is.
There he is.
I had to go to the bathroom.
Figured that. But that's why we grabbed you, That little camera on the wall said he's going to the bathroom. Let's grab him. Let's get him up here. So, it's another successful week for you.
Top 5. Can't beat it.
Well, last week, you got 5th. This week, you got 3rd. That's going to move you up there in the points pretty good. I don't think you're going to be ahead of Doug Hewitt, but, you're going to be right there in 2nd, I believe.
I'll fix that next week.
There you go. We were talking.
That race got a little crazy there in the middle, didn't it?
A little bit.
Cars weaving in and out of cars. I mean, it was fun, but it was kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah, well, that's why you guys are, some of the best at this, doing this, because you guys do that and you get away with it.
Yeah. I tried a half the night, almost the whole race to lead a lap, and still didn't get a lap to lead. I still didn't lead a lap.
Yeah, I see that. You almost had it there pretty close to near the end, and it didn't quite work out for you, because I did mention that in the broadcast. I was like, well, looking up, and I said, oh, Denny hasn't even got a chance to lead a lap yet. Now well, you can.
Every time I'd get near the front, I'd run into 2 teammates together, and they'd go around me. I'd get close. I just couldn't get it.
Well, you didn't get Randy. You and Randy Wan never really got together tonight like you usually do.
No, we kept getting separated.
And usually, what is it? Robert Breedlove is one of the other guys that usually all the 3 of you guys always kind of get together.
Yeah, he got a little damage in that first accident, I think. I don't think he was completely up to speed. But, it was a fun race, and I enjoyed it. I hope everybody else had fun.
Yeah, you were pretty much up there all night, running in the top 10, just trying to find the right line to get you out to the front. It, like you said, just never really seemed to, happen. But, all in all, you didn't get caught up in any of the big ones, which was pretty good.
Yeah, I'd like to win 1 or 2, but that being consistent is more important to me, because I like the points race, so consistency is what I'm after.
Well, you just got to stick around to it to get the championship. Were you one of the drivers last night that were eligible for it?
Yeah, I had it wrapped up, and that caution killed it.
Okay, so I figured, if I remember correctly, that you were one of those drivers, so I was wondering if you were, but that's good.
Yeah, out of the top 3 that was closest, the 2 of them was almost a lap down, and I had no competition until that caution came out, and that erased all the gap that was between everybody.
Yep. It's funny how some strategies can get ruined by one caution.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hate cautions, but sometimes you find yourself needing a caution. So sometimes they're nice for you, and sometimes they hurt you.
Yeah, that's for sure. Blaine, do you have any questions for Denny?
Yeah, sorry, I always I always mute my microphone just because I'm typing like crazy over here, just clackety clackety clack. But yeah, man, watching the Talladega show. I mean, I was doing it yesterday by myself, and I mean, you're all over that broadcast too at prime time. So I mean, just coming out here and just showing people how to get it done. And I didn't know that Tim. I learned something new yesterday about that whole level crew. Like Tim Anderson was like a nephew or something. It's just everybody in this thing just knows each other and comes back. And so do you know him as well?
Yeah, he's basically a Lovell.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you might as well say he's another Lovell because I think he's the Brian and Greg's sister's boy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He said nephew, so it would have been somebody's son. But yeah, man, you come out here and you run these things. Even last season, you missed a couple races and were still competitive at the end when it came to the points of the championship. So, are you going to run every race this season?
I'm going to try to, and I'm going to try to keep that hiccup that got me last season out of this season.
Right. Yeah, no hiccups.
Yeah. One thing I am pretty consistent. I try to be, and that's what you need, consistency.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, especially with the people you're surrounded by. All these guys are so good.
Well, it ain't easy. I mean, you got to pick the right line at the right time to stay up front, which you can see. A lot of times I pick the wrong line because backwards I go. It's just all about picking the right line and when it's moving and knowing when to get out of a line.
Yeah, that's just knowing the track inside and out, right? And seeing it coming.
Yeah. Well, I was going to try to go around the 40 there on that last lap, and I thought, well, if he tries to block me, it might wreck us both and a bunch of people behind us, so I just stayed tucked in. That way we didn't have to worry about none of us getting wrecked. Because blocking is legal.
Yeah, it might as well be.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
It's part of racing. Should be, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would have, if it was me, I would have blocked too. If I'd have tried that, I mean, so sometimes it's better to stay tucked in than get wrecked.
Well, like you said, points consistency,
And I'll say the 40's glad I decided to stay tucked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, it was a fun race. I like to thank Ken for putting this series on because I really enjoyed running in it. And Bryant Motorsports and Rodney and all of them that does all the work over here. It's a great place to race. And thank you guys for putting it on and talking to me for a minute.
He's getting too familiar when he knows when it's time to do his shout outs. And we don't have to say it.
Yeah.
That means you're here too often, Denny, and you know the routine.
Yeah, I think I won 2 of these races last season.
Yep.
I'm going to try to maybe go for 4 this season.
There you go.
I should. Every time I kid around like that, it comes back to bite me.
Karma's
Yeah, but it would be nice to win at least one.
I think you've got the ability, just got to get the right opportunity there, basically.
There's a lot of good drivers in here. I mean, a lot.
That's why they call it all-star racing.
Yeah, it ain't no easy task. I mean, you earn what you get here because these guys all of them's good.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on the 3rd place finish. Now you just got to keep, bringing it up. You got 5th last week, 3rd this week. So if you take 2 away from that, that's a win. There you go.
Well, I'll talk to y'all next week, man.
All right.
That we'll be here, man. Get it done. Yeah, I mean, last week you were 5th. Yeah, last week you were 5th. This week you're 3rd. So next week's a win.
Yep.
There you go. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Yep, mathematics.
It's written in the stars,
Yeah, thanks to I just make sure I thank Ken and Brian Wolf and Bryant Motorsports and all them guys that work over here to do this because I really enjoy racing here.
All right.
It's good having you, man.
And thanks to you guys for putting it on. I can't wait to go back and watch it.
All right. Congratulations, bud. Good job. And we'll hopefully talk to you up here next week.
All right, see you, fellas.
Thanks, Denny.
Somebody was on ball. I didn't even get him in there.
Yeah, look at me go.
Look at you go.
Mr. Negron.
Negron, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do. How y'all doing, guys?
Very well, doing very well. Taking the, well, it's not a Chevy, but the Traveler's Whiskey, Dale Earnhardt kind of junior, Justin Allgaier themed car up to a second place finish tonight.
Yeah, surprisingly, the way the race started, I thought I wouldn't last another race again, but luckily, I didn't get too much damage and was able to move up to the front.
So, I know you're a part of Team Wrecking Ball, right?
Yeah.
So is Doug Hillick part of the Team Wrecking Ball as well?
Yeah, he's a part of the Wrecking Ball crew too.
That's kind of why I was wondering like that, because I figured, usually you guys in Team Wrecking Ball, when you kind of have a situation where it gets to be where it was tonight, you guys usually don't race too much for the win. You kind of help out your teammates. So is that kind of what we saw happen tonight? Did you think you might have had something for Doug Hillick, or did you were just happy to get the points and get yourself cut? Because you were 31st last week, so second, that's going to help you moved you back up in the points. So is that what your philosophy was tonight?
Yeah, my priority was just to get as much points as I can. I wasn't really thinking about the win. I know Doug was in front of me, so I'm going to help him out as much as I can. If there was an opportunity for me to get by him, like I thought I would have nudged him out at the end. But I was just looking for a good finish for points reasons.
Well, I know for a fact that you're a good pusher. We did I think it was a broadcast for SMO, and I went out there in the car during the broadcast, did kind of like an in-car kind of thing, and I ended up turning the fastest lap in that practice session due to the fact that I had this sun drop, I think it was a Toyota, on my rear bumper, just pushing and pushing. So I know you definitely are a good pusher for super speedway racing.
Oh yeah, like I said, I've been doing it. That's one of my best things, to push. Just trying to get like consistently good finishes, which is hard at super speedways. I was talking to Garland Oaks about I gotta get a lucky rabbit's foot or get a rabbit, because I've been unlucky with these races.
Or that gold horseshoe that some drivers have, I guess.
Oh yeah, that too. So like I said, after the first two wrecks I was involved in, I thought I wouldn't even last, and luckily the car was damaged too much. So that's I'm happy about that.
That's the good thing about the Men's Cup, that even though you can get a little bit of damage, usually when you're in the pack, it doesn't affect you as badly.
Yeah, that's why I love the men's this mod. It's real good with that.
Blaine, do you have any questions for Javier?
Well, I mean, watching the run at the end where Hewlett was way out in front, almost too far out in front, and we were wondering what you guys were going to do. You decided to get with him. You could have driven right by him and taken this thing, but now that I learned that, Hewlett is part of the Wrecking Ball crew, it makes sense that you give him that wicked push, and then he bailed on you, but he was able to win the race, and you're second, so not too bad.
Yeah, like I said, I try to do as teammates is real hard in that situation. You do want to win, but like I said, I had an opportunity there to get to the outside and maybe with a little, more chances at a little longer stretch run, I would have got him at the end. But like I said, just happy for a good run, points wise, and hopefully this continues every week. Points wise.
Well, there you go. Congratulations on your second place finish. We'll give you the opportunity to thank anybody you want to thank for, letting you race, helping you race, getting you here, whatever. The floor is yours.
All right, thanks, guys. First, I'd like to thank my daughter and my wife for letting me play this game. I'd like to thank Team Wrecking Ball. It was always a pleasure racing with those guys. Thanks Brian Wolf, Ken Roberts, and Bryant Motorsports. and you guys.
Okay, well, there you go. Second place finisher. Hopefully going to move him up in the points. You still got 8 more races. You got a chance. You just got to have a little bit, better luck. So congratulations to your second place finish, and we will hopefully be talking to you in Victory Lane maybe next week. I'm going to take everybody in Victory Lane, but we'll see how that works out.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Javier. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, Doug Hillick, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Hey now.
Long time no talk, guys. How you been?
Yeah, so we were talking about this when, caution came out. We said, you know what? Hillick's going to win this. And I said, I guarantee you, when we go to interview him, he is going to turn around and say, all right, now you guys are going to pull me up for a pre-race interview every week.
Are you the happy hour?
It would probably increase your ratings because, I have a little bit of a funny side, dark side, deep, dark, nasty side to me. So maybe it's good for you guys. Maybe it's good for me. I'm not even sure.
I'll tell you right now, I just looked around, turned around and looked. We got 417 subscribers right now. So I think we were like 408 last time I looked. So having Doug Hillick up here for a pre-race interview, I think it helped out their subscribers.
Hey, whatever I can do for you guys, Rod, Blaine, Bryant Motorsports, whatever you guys need, I'm always here for you.
So through the race, you kind of raced around up front there, off and on, and you just got a really good run on that last one. We thought you might have got out a little bit too far. Then we saw Javier Negron come up, give you a heck of a shot. And that's when I kind of looked and I said, I think these guys are 2 guys from Team Wrecking Ball. Of course, Javier confirmed that. Real nice having a teammate behind you that's, willing to help push you and keep you out front for the win.
This is very true. I appreciate every one of my teammates out there in Wrecking Ball. Jay did a great job. I knew he wasn't going to try to, I had confidence he was staying behind me, which was good. That restart and the last restart, I got a little bit gapped by Denny, and I was just glad he really didn't try to cut me off too much going down the backstretch when I went inside to him.
Yeah, so I could say, a darn good race. This, in my opinion, granted, that's just my opinion, should put you as the points leader. Granted, only 2 races in. Now you just got to, consistently keep finishing in the top 5 and keep that.
Yeah, that would be an ideal situation. I'm just, blessed that, I was able to come out here 2 weeks in a row and actually, come up with something positive out of this. This game is a game, and, it always doesn't work out in your favor. Next thing you know, you're in the wall or, something happens. I mean, I even got bumped out of the way a little bit by the 880, and I was like, oh, that wasn't, But I pulled it back in. The guys gave me room to get back on the track. I went to the back. Breathed a little bit, but just totally blessed to be able to come out here and have some fun. This is a good time.
I forgot about that. We did talk about that during the broadcast. How you were way down there near the bottom, and you did manage to be able to get back in, and really, you lost some positions, but you didn't lose much momentum, so that worked out good for you.
It was kind of strange because I was like, okay, well, we're in up front, and then I'm in the back, and going like, it's so far up there. There's 20 plus cars in front of me. I'm like, I wonder who's actually leading this thing, and how am I going to get there? And lo and behold,
I don't know how you guys do it. Honestly, I really don't. I'm not going to say I despise super speedway racing. I'm going to be hopefully this next Thursday racing at AirTG to try that challenge series. ASR is my home. Just got to make sure I move that out there. I race with these guys on Wednesday, but just try to get. You can't get better at anything if you don't try it, I guess is the terminology. So I'm gonna try to go out there and see what I can and can't do.
Yeah, I run RTG on Thursday. It's a very, very competitive bunch of guys there. I mean, you're either good or you're just letting everybody who's good race with you.
Yeah.
But I would suggest practicing your qual, because if you haven't been there last year, you're going to be out of the top 30, which means usually the races at the beginning of the year are overcrowded, too many drivers, and they have to lotto or race your way in.
And that my qualifying prowess is not any good. It doesn't matter what I do. It ain't going to make a bit of difference. And so if I don't make it, I don't make it. That's not going to hurt my feelings, but I'm just going to show up there and do the best I can. So the next question I have is, let's say hypothetically, everything goes through well, you come out with this point leader. You talked about earlier about how you probably wouldn't run the whole 10 race series. You start becoming the points leader. Does that change? Do you start thinking, well, maybe I should stay, run all 10, go for the championship?
It's a trip that's been planned. I have to head up to North Dakota, spend a week with my son. He's in the Air Force up there. Watch out for all our military personnel out there in the world. Keep their prayers up for them. But he has my Honda Pilot, so the last couple winters I let him borrow it because of the beautiful winters they have up in Minot, North Dakota. Mm-hmm. So I'll have to go back and recover my vehicle and bring it back to Pittsburgh. So I'm going to spend a week on vacation with him, and then I'm flying up on a Friday, and we're driving back Saturday and Sunday because it's like 1,500 miles.
Oh, wow, that's a pretty good little trip. So
it's a lot of trip.
So now the thing you have to do now is you have to accumulate enough points so that when you do go and come back, you're still the points leader. That's the secret.
All right, so I'll just keep you guys keep interviewing me before the race, and I'll talk to you the last on the broadcast.
There you go. Blaine, do you have any questions for Doug?
I was wondering, you got Javier pushing you to get the win. Is there much of is it different looking in the rearview mirror and knowing you got a teammate back there we've talked to guys like Josh Metallic. He doesn't care. He's gonna pass you. It doesn't matter who you are when it's the last lap. And of course, not knowing it's the last lap because of the yellow flag, and is there much of is it? I guess what I'm trying to ask is there like a comforting. You look up in that mirror and you see Javier coming. You don't even. He's like, yeah, he's gonna push me. Is it a gimme? Do you know that's what he's gonna do? Do you guys communicate that?
We talked a little bit when the caution was out for the last couple laps, and suggested I take the high side, and then he was very appreciative of me going to the high side, and that made me think, maybe I should be on the low side, but it all worked out well. And when I'm running behind somebody, I'm like, thinking I can pass them. I don't know how Javier was thinking. I was hoping that he would stay back there. But when the caution came out, I'm pretty sure we were almost side by side when we crossed start-finish line. So maybe he was trying to jump me on and take the win, which is cool. I'll probably have done the same thing to him.
Yeah, it was a fantastic finish no matter what. It was a great race.
Yeah, it was a lot more fun than I expected earlier on tonight. But, it was a good night for the 23 black flag spray all over those boys out there. Rodney Sullins painted an awesome car.
Well, all right. Well, congratulations on your first place tonight, and give you an opportunity now to go out and thank Rodney for that paint. Thank whoever you want to thank for getting you here, allowing you to be here. So the floor is yours.
Four guys. First of all, thank Bryant Motorsports for being out here and putting this show on for us and letting us do what we have so much fun doing. Rodney Sullins Paints for painting this beautiful black flag Toyota Camry. My son up in North Dakota and all the military out there in the world, keep them all safe. My daughter and her husband, they're up in Fort Drum, New York. Going to be a grandfather here in August, my first grandchild. So very excited about that, and always keeping my daughter and her husband and my son, everybody in my thoughts and prayers. My wife for allowing me to sit here while she goes to bed and have fun. And my brothers and sisters out there in the world, and all my friends. Just have fun, be safe, and thank God for what we have, because you never know when it's going to go.
That's
it. There you go. There you go. Well said. Good. Congratulations on the win, and hopefully we'll see you here next week, and you'll be back in here for another after race So post-race interview, so congrats, bud.
Appreciate you guys, man. You guys have a good night, and I will see you next week.
There you go. Congratulations, bud.
Thanks, Doug.
Take care, guys. Bye.
So when he wins next week, there's no way he's going to top that speech. It was a good one.
No. I mean, I think it was funny. You know, Brian Wolf come up and said, you know, the gay come up with the idea tonight. You know, you got to bring people in off on a little bit more. I think we probably could have done more, but when the green flag situation, obviously there, as long as that went, and if there wasn't really a whole lot of room to really kind of do that, but we brought him up, and it was a very fun interview. And then he turns around and a little more of a serious side to it, but it was still a great interview from him, and got to congratulate him on his win.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to get up there and then to be in the right place at the right time the whole way through the thing and staying out of those wrecks. I mean, involved in a couple of them, but nothing too major, and able to, hold your own. And, yellow comes out with 3 to go. It's going to be done in slow motion, but stuff can still happen. We've seen cars fail, after taking the final yellow flag and walking to the checkers. And it's like, you got to finish the race, man. It's like, I've jumped the gun, throwing up the celebration screens on the broadcast before the race is actually done. I'm like, I shouldn't jinx this. Guy could have a power outage right now in his house and, not win.
Yep.
But, it was a great run. And, race number 3 of 10 for season 2 coming up next Saturday.
Yep. Sounds good. And I'm going to be hitting the track tomorrow, hopefully coming home with a W myself in the go-kart. So I'm looking forward to that. And, have some fun. Hopefully don't, cause any raise any havoc over there. But we'll see you Tuesday.
Tuesday will be
here.
I'll
see you. I know I'll talk to you before that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Tomorrow night's going to have to be Valheim, so... Yeah. No.
We'll be playing some games or doing something, but as always, thank you everybody in the YouTube channel for watching live. Over 100 hits again. It's crazy. It's consistently over 100 hits every time, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that means people are watching, so that's very cool. So thank you very much, of course, to Bryant Motorsport Auto Sales for sponsoring the broadcasting. David Chin, Brian Wolf, Ken Roberts, all you guys for running this deal. And, bringing all the drivers, of course, out here. Another stacked field tonight. Very entertaining race. Seemed to be, I think it was Denny that even mentioned it in his interview. It seemed kind of frantic at times, which is not normal, but, they're all good drivers, so they can make it happen, make it work. And as always, we'll see you here on Tuesday, Wednesday, and back here on Saturday next week. TARNATION TV. We thank you again. If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.
At the Parts Barn Used Auto Parts, we're crushing cars and prices. The last Saturday of every month is half price. We pull for you, or you pull your own and save even more. Call or search inventory at partsbarnva.com. The Parts Barn, Suffolk and Portsmouth.